Okie dokie. So is it ever OK to smack your kids? Joining us now are two mums of two, broadcaster Sarah Kaywood and education journalist Sian Griffiths. Hello, thanks both for coming in.
Hi.
Before we talk to you, we've been building up to this morning.
What? Are you going to throw me under the bus now?
You're the guest, you're the guest. And I'll tell you what, I'll give you my view as well. Do you smack your kids?
No, not now. He's 7. I haven't done it for a very long time. But I remember there have been 2 occasions when I did. And one was when he was in the bath and all slippy, slidey and wriggly, and he was jumping in the bath and would not sit down. And obviously, jumping and walking about, I'm thinking he's going to slip and crack his head. I literally couldn't get him to sit down. And I was really trying. And I just thought, right, I'm going to have to stop this now. Just...
Yeah.
Quick one.
It's a short, sharp shock,
You sit down.
No.
And he sat down. He never did it again. And then the other time was when we were in a car park. Again, it was probably about 2. It's just when all of a sudden they can run and they can do all sorts, but they can't quite talk. You can't quite get through to them. And he was running off in a car park and I grabbed his arm. I'm almost like a fishwife. I was like, get in the car. You know, you're just like, get in. So I was like, get in the car. And he wouldn't get in the car seat. He just, you know, when they do that arched back thing,
my goodness,
refused to get in.
Isn't it? The plank.
So I was just like, so I gave him a tap on the face. I did, and I wouldn't do it again. I've never done it for that long. I've just, but it's just those 2. A bit like Martin Freeman, which he says, the idea you only ever rationalise with a toddler. Genuinely good luck. If you can do that, God go with you. Amazing.
Well, look,
I agree with him wholeheartedly.
Very briefly, just to follow your confession, I asked my kids, because I didn't think I ever smacked them, because I was quite badly beaten when I was a kid. My dad used to use a cane, a stick, and it was quite serious.
And that's not acceptable.
It was totally unacceptable. So I always swore that I'd never lay a finger on my kids, and I didn't think I did, but I asked them, and they both have dim memories of me smacking them on the bottom once or twice. And I must have blanked it out, because I
and they still love you?
And they, well, you know, we'll work on it.
What are your opinions? You're here to tell us your differing views.
I'm with you, Ranveer. I think occasionally when they are in mortal danger, it's OK to make sure that they don't hurt themselves. You know, and I have been guilty of, I tend to, if you really want, and when they were toddlers, you really want to get their attention, is to grab a wrist, go, no, and a tap. And they'll go, oh, hang on a minute, I haven't seen that version of Mummy before. That must be something I've done seriously wrong. I won't do that again, because you can't reason with teenagers and you can't reason with toddlers. And so I have felt that it is acceptable in those situations.
That sounds eminently reasonable. That sounds eminently reasonable to me. And about two-thirds of our viewers are voting at the moment say that they agree with that. But you won't give ground on this.
I think it's completely wrong. I mean, I'm a parent. I know how difficult it is. I do think it's just wrong in principle to smack your child.
In principle or in practice?
Well, both. I think England should ban smacking. I think the government should ban smacking right through England. Scotland's done it, Wales has done it, 60 countries have done it, and they've done it for a reason. There's a lot of research now that shows that if you smack your child, you use that as a form of discipline, your child's likely to grow up more aggressive, more antisocial and more anxious.
Sian,
there's a huge
two of the
study.
Most gentle children you could meet.
But when they become teenagers, there have been cases of 17-year-old boys turning around to their mums and threatening to hit them, and their mums call the police. But if you've smacked your child right the way through, you've used it as a normal way of discipline. You've taught your child it's okay.
Yes, I agree with that, though. I remember when we were on holiday in America, seeing my uncle slap my cousin, a little boy, and he was probably my son's age, so probably, you know, proper. He could have spoken to him.
He was too old.
And it was shaming, and it was humiliating, and I remember it like it hurt me. It was horrible, and I despised my uncle for that. You know, I just, you horrible person. It made me feel really,
But also, to pick up on your point...
So it's about what age is it OK? Is it ever OK?
I don't think it's ever
okay. You just said that research shows that children who are smacked become violent and aggressive themselves. I've just said, and I'm not exaggerating, I was badly beaten by my dad, although I loved him to pieces when I was a kid. It hasn't made me violent.
That's true.
Yeah. I think there are always anomalies, and, you know, but the research shows, what the research shows is that you're more likely to become more aggressive and more antisocial if you've been hit as a child. It's a big study from America, thousands of children, and
you've been hit regularly as a child. Because, like we were saying...
Tapped on the bottom,
I
on the wrist,
remember the last time. I cannot remember the last time that I used that form of discipline on my 6- and 8-year-old, because I can reason with them now.
Never do it.
You can't reason with a 3-year-old.
What about swearing at them?
Oh, I'm sweary. I mean, anyone who follows me on social media knows that, you know, my middle name is a four-letter word.
But you swear at your children? Have you sworn at your children?
Not at them,
You little...
around them. And they tell me off. They're like, Mummy, the swears. Stop with the swears. I am sweary, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think swearing around your children is one thing. Swearing at them is another.
Oh, that's horrible.
Martin Freeman, you know, admitted that he'd called his children, probably can't say.
Yes.
No, you
early
can't.
morning.
You little...
And I think that makes them feel sort of embarrassed and humiliated and ashamed. You know, when you swear at them and you call them a horrible word. But I think that all of us, all parents have sworn around.
Have you ever come close to smacking your children? I mean, you seem like this almost angelic figure. You must surely have come that close.
That's really interesting, isn't it? Because I was talking to my youngest one last night. They're in their 20s now. And I said, you know, I'm going to go and do this debate. And he said, you're not going to say you never smacked us, are you? And I'm like, well, I was actually. And he was like, I'm pretty sure you smacked me, Mum.
Hang on, let's get him on the phone immediately.
But you see, that's what it is. It's a loss of control.
That's very honest of you.
Yeah, and
that is very honest
okay.
of you.
I do, when I did used to, when coming out of the teenage state, they would get 3 warnings and they'd understand that.
Yes.
This is your first warning, hot bottom, if you don't listen to me.
Hot bottom. That's a good one.
Yeah, hot
That
bottom.
is a good one.
And of course, I never got to the 3rd warning because they knew.
And then by the time you can do the naughty set, there are lots of other ways
and you
to
do all of those first.
Surely you've got 2 older ones.
So, yeah, so my daughter's
did you and
22.
Lena ever?
We did smack my daughter occasionally, a bit like you with your son. I don't remember doing it with my son at all. But I think the key is if you start to get angry, there's a problem.
Yeah,
that's
when
what
you
people are doing.
For a shock element to stop
Yeah.
them doing something dangerous.
Put their hand in the fire,
But you
smack
don't-
the hand away,
you
wouldn't
don't-
you?
But we're also going through huge cultural changes, aren't we? I mean, when I look back to my childhood, it was most of my friends at school were hit by their parents and hit with sticks. There were canes above the mantelpiece and everything. I got the cane several times when I was at school and seriously got beaten.
Our headmaster in my primary school had a slipper.
Yes,
You
so
would
did
get
ours.
our headmaster. Can you imagine
Do you
that now?
actually remember what you got hit for? I think the...
Yes, I can. I got 3
Really?
strokes of the cane at Cooper's Company School when it was in the East End, Mile End,
Don't
for
even
throwing a
say.
paper dart in Miss Davis's English class.
God.
I threw a paper dart and I got 3 heavy strokes. The scars lasted 6 months.
That's
It
hard.
doesn't rankle. It doesn't rankle with
horrible.
me. It does. I'm still angry about it.
Yeah, I'm sure. And that's not okay. That's never okay.
No, and that's the problem with
So go
smacking,
on.
because...
I want to hear I want to be persuaded that I was... Go on.
Well, look, I think the problem with smacking is that if you keep doing it, you're likely to get more violent.
Yes.
I mean, in England, you're allowed to use, you know, reasonable force. But what's reasonable force? If you smack a child and you leave a red mark on the back of their leg, is that reasonable force? If the next time you do it, you leave a bruise, is that reasonable force? I mean, I actually think if
you
the
shouldn't leave a
government...
bruise, no.
Yeah, if the government... Yeah, exactly. But if the government banned smacking in England, I actually think it would protect parents, because parents at the moment...
criminalise parents who are slightly stressed and they've got 2-year-olds who run into the car park and don't know about traffic.
I think
You
we all
just pull them
judge.
back. You pull them back. Children can actually sense your anger and your anxiety. They sense it, especially at the age of 2. If you are really anxious about this and you pull them back and you never do that again, and you're really quite cross with them, you don't need to smack them.